All right, YouTube, we're here with...
Alexander Braun.
And you were on stream at YCS Indianapolis playing what deck?
For round 6, I was playing a Orcust Horus Diabellstar scrap pile. And I know it sounds like a lot of engines, and it kind of is. That's why we're kind of on less non-engine. Well, actually, no non-engine in the main. But the deck actually plays really nice, and into the current metagame, the standard end board that you end on is a Spell Canceller and a Orcust Crescendo, which is an Omni Negate, right? So if we look at our, so just starting to go off, we have our Horus engine, which I think is the most important part of the deck. We're playing 3 Walls of the Imperial Tomb. This card is crazy. I think everyone underestimates this card. It just says search for an Imseti, and then it counts as Kingsark on the field. So you can actually put your Horus monsters on board before you even try to activate Kingsark. And when you activate Kingsark, people always just target this card down. And in that case, we're also playing 2 Kingsark. We're not playing 3. I actually don't really like 3. I'd just rather have the field spell if I were to over the 3rd Kingsark. On our ratio for monsters in the main, we do actually play 1 in the side. We're playing 3 Imseti and 1 Happy. This is the perfect ratio if you're just wanting a package. It's just the singular discard, but it also, Imseti being able to draw a card is just nuts. Especially when you're wanting to discard your cards anyway. So the rest of this deck was built off this idea, and I want to show it off before I talk about the rest of it, is Clockwork Knight. This card is crazy. It won me games versus Tenpai. It won me a lot of games versus, well, mainly just Tenpai. Or I also played against Flu yesterday, and against Flu, this card just cooks them. So, you know, but the main part of this card is when it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish it to search for an Earth Machine card. And that's why I really liked playing this list.
It's quite the card.
So, and then we get into like starting to talk about the package that revolves around the Orcust package. First, we'll start by talking about Super Heavies. These cards are nuts. I don't know why we aren't like looking at playing these cards in other decks. So we're playing 3 Motorbike, 3 Prodigy Wakaushi, 1 Soul Gaia Booster, and 1 Super Heavy Samurai Big Monk Benkei. When we get to the extra deck, you'll understand what, like, kind of how this goes. But the thing is, like, Wakaushi in any form, including if you get it off Motorbike, is 2 level 4s on board, because you get to search for the Soul Gaia Booster off the Big Monk, and then special summon it. So we get to overlay this for Geargiant, or make a Synchro, and Pendulum Summon, actually. We can Pendulum Summon this deck. And that is a big shocker for a lot of people. Moving on, this is the other Earth Machine Surge target. It's Scrap Recycler. We're actually playing 3 Scrap Recycler and 1 Scrap Golem. These cards are not nearly as crazy, but they do really well when it comes to playing Orcust, right? There's a combo using Scrap Wyvern, which is in the extra, that gets you 2 cents to graveyard off of just 1 Scrap Recycler. So, and that's not including the send that you get from normal summoning Scrap Recycler in the first place. So, and also if you Pendulum Summon these guys, you still get to send the cards to grave from deck. So it's actually just nice. But you get to modulate with Clockwork Knight that way, and choose between your Super Heavy or Scrap cards that you want to see.
I actually realize now how impactful is the attack modification on Clockwork Knight sometimes.
It has been great. It has done so much. It has given me a lot of turn 3s that I wasn't expecting. So the fact that we got there to turn 3 is just nice. Next up, we're playing 1 World Legacy Succession. This is before we get into the Orcust stuff. This is actually because the Scrap package. None of these cards are once per turn. So after you do your normal scrap wyvern play, if you then link off the remaining scrap monsters into a lib, the World Key Justicar, World Key Blade Master, not Justicar, you can search World Legacy Succession and set it, and as long as you've sent World Legacy World Wand, which we'll show in a second, you can activate this the turn it was set. And that can summon back your Golem, and your Golem can summon back your Recycler, or it can summon one of our one-offs, if we send that instead. We were also, this is the Orcust part of the deck, we're playing 3 Girsu. I think this is mandatory if you're ever playing Orcust. I think that you just should play 3 Girsu. We're playing 1 Symbol Skeleton, 1 Nightmare, 1 World Wand, and 1 Harp. This, I think, is the correct ratio for now. I'm thinking about doing 3 Harp, but it just feels real bad. I might go to 2. I don't know. It's really weird. I've just been thinking on this deck for so long, and the ban list just threw a monkey wrench in my plans. So it's just given me a lot to think about. But I wouldn't have had to think about it if the ban list didn't come out. Because it's nice to have the 3 Harp for the full deck, but in a deck like this, it kind of gets weird. We're also on 1 Orchestrated Babel and 1 Crescendo. These are the only 2 targets that I think you'll ever need for Orcust for Galatea. So this is the one you want more often than not because of the format. We're then also playing a small Diabellstar package, which is 3 wanted poster, 1 original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye, 2 Diabellstar, and a Jet Synchron. The nice part about this this package is that it filters out your hand, right? Because when you use your original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye, and it's in the graveyard, you can banish the original, the wanted poster, to put this back in deck and draw a card. So you basically get to filter your hand and also have a free discard. And then the Jets comes up sometimes. It makes me want to play a Relinquished Anima, but I panicked and didn't put that on my deck list for this event. I instead put another card. We then play 1 Armageddon Knight. We could bring this up in multiple copies because we can Pendulum Summon him. It's actually kind of nice. And then the main star of the show for a lot of my wins this week was Spell Canceller. This card is searchable by sending it off of your Scrap Recycler. And then if you have and then if you do the loop to get the second send, and send the World Legacy World Wand, you can make the lib and then summon this back from the graveyard. You can also Pendulum Summon this, which I've done in multiple, which I did like twice, which is kind of funny.
Apparently a lot of people were mad about the whole spell cancer thing.
Oh no, they totally were. It was not something that people were expecting, especially because Tenpai does require their power spells a lot of the time. Moving on to the extra deck, we're on 2 Galatea, 1 Dingirsu. This is the only Orcust extra deck monsters you're playing. They're pretty nice, but I love these cards. Like, I love Orcust in general. I was playing it before it was actually a thing, but I think that you don't play any more than that. We also play a Lib. This is to get your World Legacy Succession when you have World Wand engraved, and that's very important. We also have a Scrap Wyvern, which does your entire scrap play. And then we get into generic stuff for the links. We've got SP Little Knight, which everyone's going to be playing SP, and then the IP to follow. We're also playing 1 Appaloosa, and the card I wish was Relinquished Anima, which is Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. It's a good card, but I didn't want to use the bodies for this card a lot of the time, so it just felt real bad. Next up, we get into the Xyz, and this is what makes the Super Heavy play so good, is Gear Gain X. This allows you to just search for a machine card. You can search for an Orcust, you can search for, as long as level 4 or lower, you can search for anything, and it's just amazing. Next up, we also have 2 rank 8s for the Horus package. Yep. We're playing a Photon Lord and a Zombie Vampire. It felt real bad to go in the Zombie Vampire this week, but I know it comes up and it's nice, but it just felt real bad.
Too good.
Yeah, I mean, it just
niche situations it comes up.
But it just feels so bad. And then on to the synchros, because we can play synchros using the super heavy cards.
Yeah.
We're playing one Omega, we're playing a XL Synchro Stardust, and we're playing a Dissipator. This is just to do the double hand loop if you can. This is actually more important because it's got more to do with the fact that with Crescendo, Dissipator actually does become a negate, so it's just kind of funny in that regard. But otherwise, I think that you could cut the Omega, but it's nice. It came up. I actually hand looped my opponent twice, only one time this weekend. Onto the side deck, and this is where it gets a little sad because I just kind of threw stuff together because I was just cooking on the main deck for so long. So we're playing one Deomutef. Deomutef is a good card. I love it. It draws 3 if you need it to, or draws 4 if you need it to. But otherwise, I don't like playing it in the main. I normally side out the Spell Canceller if I don't need it. And then the other side for the Spell Canceller is Jinzo. So we can actually beat the trap decks.
Yep.
We just say, okay, instead of Spell Canceller, we play Jinzo. And the thing about Jinzo is that it's actually better than Spell Canceller because you can send this off Nightmare, and then summon it back with the World Legacy Succession. So it's actually really good because you don't have to waste a Scrap Recycler send. And then the rest of it, we're playing 3 Lava Golem.
Yeah.
3 Droll. I wish I could see this card more. I saw so much. What's it called? Voiceless Voice this weekend. So that's just how I felt. I wish I could see it more, but I just didn't. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Fenrir, and then the last card I just threw in because is Harpy's Feather Duster. It's a good card. I didn't use it once this entire weekend, but the thing is, like, normally you don't like activating spells before the Super Heavy package, so we don't like playing Feather Duster nearly as much.
Okay. How much of this deck will you change going forward?
I mean, there's a lot that can change.
Goddess for Anima, probably.
Goddess for Anima. The big thing is, like, also, like, I wanted the entire reason I played this deck this weekend for the YCS was I wanted to put it on the map because I've been building this myself pretty much. I've not really had much help on it. And so, like, I know that there's a lot more space that can be innovated in. And I think that there's just a lot of options. It especially shows because my Snake Eye matchup wasn't nearly as good as I would have liked it to be, even though it was, like, pretty decent because of the Spell Canceller.
Yeah.
But there's definitely so much room to improve. And the thing is, and this is what I'll say, is like, I know it's like 43 in the main, but the thing about it is the Orcust cards kind of do better when you don't draw them 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So playing at a higher deck count's not bad. So I would say to anyone who's interested, just take a look at this deck, see what you can do with it, right? Like, I think that there's so much that can be changed with this deck and it's still functioning.
Okay. Shout outs to finish out.
Yeah. So shout outs to Tag Team. They've been, great for letting us have locals. Shout out to everyone. Who shout out to Andrew and Hunter who all attended the event with me. And then shout outs to Sean for doing the deck profile. Shout outs to
Clay Grider for day 2.
Clay for getting day 2. I
Cash.
just hope that I took enough Tenpai out of the equation for him so that he didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately he didn't make top 32.
Yeah.
But, we're trying out here. We're trying to make the best with what we got in the community. So shout out the entire community for always listening to my harebrained ideas whenever I throw it at them. So
All right. Yep. That's it?
Yep.
All right. Thank you.